guys, so today this is Haley and I'm gonna tell you about my Sunday moral. And so I'm gonna get started right now. So today is the 18th Sunday in Ordinary Time, and my moral is focus on what is in heaven and not what is on earth. And so the gospel is about the parable of the rich fool. And so this man, he had lots of money. He was the owner of a farm. And so he had a bountiful harvest that year. And so the barns couldn't hold the food. So he decided he was gonna tear apart all the current barns, and then he was gonna make new ones, bigger and better ones, get bigger and better ones. And so he told his soul, relax, eat and drink, for you have everything you want in front of you. And so God said that, you fool, for God said, you fool, for who did you tonight your soul is required of you. For who did you prepare those things? And so that's what I remember from the gospel anyways. And so I relate my moral to the gospel is about I relate my moral to the gospel is that you don't need anything here on earth. Like for the first reading, I'm just gonna use this as an example. It was about vanity, because it was that everyone was focused on vanity, like longing for food, for water. That was also vanity. Those were material things. And so that means you focus on what's in heaven, and so that one day you'll go there. It's not really important to have, let's say, keys for a house. You don't need those that much. You don't need to be you don't need keys for a house, but you can't bring those into heaven. And so that's why you focus on what's in heaven and not what's on earth, because in heaven it's all permanent, but on earth your life is temporary. So those things that you have, they're not always yours, and that's why you focus on what's in heaven and not what's on earth. So that's how I relate my moral to the gospel. And so my relate to what's happening now is about an article Father read. It was about this woman. She was a collector, and so she collected miniature miniature keychains, miniature teapots, and she also was gonna go to a retirement home. So she wanted to bring her clothes, her bed sheets, her miniature collections. She also wanted to bring her books, but then she realized that all of those things were temporary, and that all of those were didn't belong to her. She would look at them, she would play with them a bit, but then she realized that those things were not hers. It didn't belong to her. So she couldn't bring those things into heaven. I mean, you can't bring a book to heaven, not at all. And so that's why you focus on what's in heaven and not what's on earth. So my personal experience.
It's bad to work for things that you need.
No, it's not bad to do that. But what I'm saying is that you don't focus on like computers, like not that much. You don't get obsessed on those, because all of those are temporary. You don't get obsessed on things that are just temporary, but you focus on things that are on earth.
So you're just not going to think about the future.
You're of course gonna think about the future, because you have life and that's what God gave you, so you live it. That's off topic.
Yeah, but It's bad to work for things.
No,
because
to
those
work
are
for
material
insurance,
things.
to work for like a good score at school is not bad, but I mean not to get obsessed over things that are temporary. Like school, you're not gonna be there all your life. And so,
So you're just not going to put effort.
of course, you put effort in it. But you don't really try to bring a book into heaven. Just an example. And so, mommy, my personal experience is is about what I told Mamita last night, because I wanted to keep my curls but I couldn't, because at the time I put braids on my hair and then I couldn't keep them. I couldn't keep the curls on my hair because I had to take off the sanrios and then I had to sleep, so it was ruined. And so then if I hadn't taken off those braids this morning, the braid would either be broken, or and my sanrios would have been broken, or and then, well, if they weren't, then I wouldn't have been able to keep them because I had to take a bath. And so I realized that those curls were just temporary here on earth, and that they weren't real, that they didn't really matter in heaven, because I mean, anyways, all curls will get flat someday, if it was made with salon, of course. And so that's my personal experience. So I hope you learned something from my moral. And so bye guys, see you next time.